If you're anything like me, you start the year with a long list of goals that you are so excited to tackle and you're so confident about it. You know this is going to be your year. But then as the year progresses, you find that a couple challenges come up or, oh, that thing didn't go exactly according to plan. And then more time passes by, and before you know it, you didn't really accomplish anything. And now you're just sitting there with the realization of, oh, I let another year get away. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Kat, and I know it's been a while since I've posted a video. I've just been pretty busy, and I also have been trying to figure out what content I really want to make, because if you kind of look at my channel, everything's all over the place, and I'll touch up a little bit more on that in this video, but I kind of didn't know what content to make, so I haven't uploaded in a while, but I am going to try to be more consistent. That is going to be a goal for the next year. So I am looking out my window right now and I cannot see. It is so foggy. Let me know how it is wherever you are. And also, last disclaimer before we really dive in, if you hear like any noise in the background, it is my heater, because my heater is just very loudly and I'm like literally sitting right next to it because I'm cold. So bear with me. Hopefully the audio is clear enough for you, and yeah, let's dive in. So I kind of wanted to do a 2025 reflection video just because it is the end of the year, and I feel like even if we don't want to, I know I certainly don't want to, you can't help but like reflect and compare to like whether you achieved your goals or not. And if you're like me and you don't always have the best mindset at times, you're probably thinking like, oh wow, I kind of just let another year slip away. At least that's how I'm feeling, especially when you're like comparing your year to like everyone else's year. They're like, oh, I made Forbes 30 under 30 this year. I got so many brand opportunities this year. And I'm just like, oh, I started a channel with like 2 views on most of my videos. And that's not to say that I'm not grateful for my videos that do have a lot of views, and for everyone who's subscribed, and even you for watching. I'm eternally grateful, but it's just not really what I expected when I started this. And I just kind of want to dive into how this year kind of went for me, especially. So yeah, I get ready for a bit of a like therapy yap sesh, if that's your vibe, hopefully. So let's dive in. So I started the year kind of trying to scramble to reestablish myself after things just going absolutely south at the end of 2024. And I am a little sad to report that not a lot has changed. I thought that I would just get a job, put my head down at work, and be able to essentially get what I want, which is like my own place and like some nicer things. And that has just not exactly happened. And so I just kind of was like reflecting on it. I'm like, okay, I remember in April, kind of just thought to myself, I'm like, okay, I do not have any excuses as to why I can't live out my creative dreams. From a young age, I've always wanted to be a writer. I fell in love with like YouTube and videos at a very early age, and I just know I've always wanted to create. And so in April, I kind of just thought to myself, I'm like, okay, I don't have any excuses that I previously did before. I'm like, I have more time than I ever do. I have a little bit of my own monetary resources I can invest in, like courses or to buy equipment. I don't have necessarily anybody holding me back. I don't have anyone encouraging me, but I don't have anyone holding me back. So I call that a win. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to start my creative journey. I started my YouTube channel, this one, and then I started writing on Substack. I started posting poetry on Instagram, and growth has been a little slow. I'm gonna be so for real. I am probably the last person you want to take social media marketing advice from, because I cannot figure it out for the life of me. Some people say it's simple. I'm like, it's either really hard and I'm just like I'm probably just dumb or something, which I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case, but it just hasn't been as easy as I thought it would. But that said, it has been absolutely very internally rewarding, which I think there's not enough emphasis on how we need to do things that are internally rewarding. And I made this, this was like my, I think, most recent video. It's like when you feel invisible as a creator, because I was just highlighting on that. I'm like, yeah, I haven't known what to post, what to make, because I don't know what's going to get me views and traction, which is ultimately what I want, because I am trying to build a business out of this. Like, yes, it's like, I want to say like 10% hobby, 90% I want to take this seriously. And I say 10% because I ended up splitting my content just because I was just kind of posting whatever. So I actually went and made a vlog channel with all of my vlogs when I traveled this year. And I think that's kind of more like my hobby channel because I'm like, I wanted to make these videos so I have something to look back on. Like, I literally went to Orlando this year, I went to Chicago this year, and that's like an absolute privilege. And then I'm like sitting here at home just like, oh my god, I'm so like over everything. Being able to like go back and on my channel look at my videos and be like, oh yeah, I got to do that, that was really cool. Or it's fun for me to do that. So I'm definitely, and especially because it's just so hard to break into like the lifestyle creator space right now, I'm definitely treating that one more as a hobby. But I have a vision for like what I want my channel to grow to be, and so I want to take it seriously. And most of all, I want to add value for viewers, even if it is like entertainment value. Like, I think that's still a very valuable thing that we need in our society and culture. So I have enjoyed doing that, and I think again that's just something so important that we need to emphasize, because like we're always emphasizing results, like how many subscribers do you have? You're only worth working with if you have like a million people who will literally buy whatever crap you sell them, you know. It gets muddy, and I think as a creator that's a line we all kind of walk, of like where it's kind of like selling out in a sense. But anyway, that's not really my main point, what I'm trying to get at. But what I'm trying to say is that it's been really fulfilling, but I haven't yielded the results I want. So it's put me in like this interesting like little limbo space. But I've thought to myself, I'm like, okay, I really don't want the same thing to happen again. I don't want to keep ending up where we're in the same space year after year, not changing. Because I'm like, a year is a long time. I'm like, I had 12 months to essentially do the things I want to do, and it something somewhere didn't pan out. So now I'm just like, ooh, okay, how do we prevent this from happening? How do we take action? How do we make sure we're going into 2026 ready and we're gonna like hit the ground running? So the first thing I'm doing is just trying to be as specific as humanly possible, being like, okay, what exactly do I want? When I say, oh, I want like my own place, okay, where do I want to live? Where do I envision myself? Like, do I want a house? Do I want an apartment? Do I want roommates? Do I want to live alone? Like, I'm just trying to get really clear and specific on what I want. Because like, if you don't even know what you want, it's like, okay, how are you gonna get it? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so that's like the first thing I'm doing. The second thing I'm doing is just trying to really measure everything, because it can feel hard like when you're going day to day to like think you're making any growth. But when you start tracking it, that's kind of when you see that like, oh yeah, you like did make progress. So one analogy I love is like the gym. Like, you know, the first time you go to the gym, you're probably not going to be lifting very heavy, but let's say you like write down which weight you do every day, and then within a month you're going to see that like, oh, the weight I'm using now wasn't the weight I did at the beginning of the month, even though you like let's say you were doing the same exercise. If you only go in and do like a squat, you're like, okay, well, I started squatting with the bar and now I'm squatting with like 30 pounds on each side. Like, that's progress, but you don't see that progress day to day. And you don't go from 0 to 100, you go from 0 to 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. And that's something that I'm kind of just like trying to tell myself to remember. The third thing I would say is that just because something isn't exactly the way you want it doesn't mean that it didn't work out. And I'm going to use my personal example. So I technically published a book this year, and it is a PDF download available on my website, and you can just download it for free if you're interested. There's my shameless self-promotion for the day. But I've always had this vision of that, oh, whenever I like self-publish my book, I'm gonna go through a certain distributor, I'm gonna have like a professional editor, I'm gonna have all this and this, and it's gonna be amazing. I'm gonna be a real author. And I've been having trouble seeing myself as a real author. The book, it wasn't the way I thought it would be, and I'll let the quality speak for itself. No, I'm just kidding. It wasn't how I thought it'd be, but it's out there, and it was something I like really had to push myself to finish, and I still did that. So I think that's still a goal worth being proud of. Or another thing is I had a couple pieces published in like independent literary journals. So I had some I had like a couple of poems and some photographs published. And again, these aren't like super big national, like New Yorker type magazines, but they still got eyes on them. I still took the scary part, like the scary leap of submitting my work and sharing it with more people. And I think that's also worth recognizing, even if it's not like, a national scale or whatever. Like, I'm learning to have so much more grace with myself and like discredit that result. And I'm very grateful to be featured in those publications and very grateful that people like my work enough to feature it in their things. And so it's been really rewarding. I think this is like the shortest advice video ever. The fourth thing I would say is just continuing to work on my mindset, because ultimately your thoughts create your reality. If you believe in manifestation or whatever, or even if you don't, like, you have to admit the way you think about yourself and about your goals can influence the outcome of them. And I want to give myself the best chance to succeed. So I want to keep working on my mindset, even though I am an author and like I don't think enough people talk about it. I think people talk about it a little bit, but I haven't seen enough about it. So like my goal is to create a more like content encouraging authors and even people who wouldn't normally think to like work on their mindset. And the way I am doing that is by joining the 30-day rebirth challenge by Simone Simmons. Is also a YouTuber, and I'll link a couple of her videos down below, but she's hosting a 30-day challenge starting in January, perfect for the new year, to just really help people step into the best version of themselves. Help keep a video a day that will give you a simple action step that you can take and help compound your success till at the end of the month, you're not just still squatting the bar, you'll be squatting the 30 pounds or even more. So that's just one thing I wanted to put out there. If you're interested in joining, I do have an affiliate link in the description, and I highly encourage you to just at least check it out, because I think we all really can accomplish our goal. It's okay to use different resources and get help where we can, and it's important to invest in ourselves because our goals and dreams are worth it. And so I will be documenting my journey of doing that. So I encourage you to follow and subscribe to see more of that journey. I also have a lot more content over on Instagram if you're interested in seeing that as well. So my Instagram is also linked in the description. And I just want to end this video with, whether you had a great year or a bad year, I encourage you to just make the best of it, whatever that may be for you. And if you're interested in seeing how I make the best of my year, then just keep following along for the journey. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all next year. Bye.